really useful because one of the things I was thinking as well, you've mentioned, I mean, we've done a range of activities, engagement activities with Tom and partners in other schools in Kenya. And I mean, in my role, I'm Senior International Officer here at Sussex. Might get the absolute fortune, and I'm really lucky with such a job to travel and meet people like yourselves and students. But more importantly, I think what we do, what we believe, Richard and I, and at the very roots of what we've been doing at Sussex, is to try and engage those students in innovative approaches to enhance their learning experience. So we could come to the fairs, obviously we attend a lot of exhibitions, but looking at those extra things we can do to facilitate the learning process. So are there things you feel that universities could do as well in this line that you would suggest that we could be doing as part of our work with your schools? What are some things that you think could help what you already do?
Okay, let me begin from the background. Traditionally, my school has hosted a number of uni fairs, UK, but then the question is, out of so many universities that come, how do you identify one or two that you can engage with directly? One of the things that I admire personally as a careers advisor is your visibility. You go online, you see Sussex everywhere, you see all these other persons whose middle name is Sussex, you know, and I knew, oh, this is just Sussex. And lately I've sent them so many friend requests on Facebook and they're accepting. So that kind of direct attachment is very critical because it's not just any other university. It's not enough to see your prospectus. Beyond the prospectus, beyond that text that you have as a prospectus, what else? How else can we engage? We are trying to, when Professor Follett came to our school, one of the things that I was left with was, how can we, the world is increasingly yearning for global citizens, people who are analytical, critical thinkers. And if I'm not a critical thinker as a teacher, I can't impart the same skill to the students. I may not be teaching a lot of students, but I engage with them. All these things, they come to me for advice, union, and that one has put me very close to them. And they were very excited when they heard that I'm coming over to Sussex. And I told them Sussex was generous enough to give me a travel grant to come here, and therefore, going forward, that one, it will never be the same again in terms of how we relate. And these are skills that I will impart. Number of it's not enough to have those good grades or super grades. These skills beyond interpersonal skills and engagement in students at university level is very important. I've been to your careers department, and there's a lot of literature and a lot of support. The student center there, the careers department, how they connect students with industry. They do all this. It's a very vibrant placement office, and I talked to the people in charge, and they were very passionate about what they were talking about. Other universities, even back home, those are things, they are there on paper probably because the system requires it, but you don't see that passion. Or it may be done, it favors some people, or it's not across the board. I found and then I like the kind of international community that is here, that diversity, and then the rich history of all over the corridors of seeing some stars of Sussex.
And we're also the University of Sunshine. Don't forget what you said yesterday. You were sunny on campus.
I've been to 3 campuses now. I didn't see the sun. I was at Oxford for 2 days. I didn't see the sun. I was looking for it. I got it on YouTube, but not out here.
You're not out here.
So that was quite something. I would recommend for my students this kind of campus because of the facilities, infrastructure, even that link with the outside world. You can pick a bus in town, take you right in campus next to your hostel if you're probably a first year international student. Because usually, if you're new and the place is not so accommodating, you might feel, but get a lot of culture shock. But here I found a system where the students posted all over with willing to help new students, and that one I think pretty much helps you to settle.
I think you're absolutely right, Tom. I mean, one thing that we've always prided ourselves on at Sussex is creating a learning environment, a real partnership environment. And so you talked about the career service, and we're over the moon that we're now, I think, number 5 or number 6 in the UK for graduate employment of our graduates. We're also equal number 1 with Oxford in terms of the percentage of our students who go on to further study, to master's degrees, and etc., etc. What that tells us is that the kinds of skills that we're doing, the flexibility of the degree choices that we put on, that really those kinds of skills that we're passionate about engaging with means that our graduates come out with the right kind of skills, either to go into the world of work and a wide range of jobs, or go into further study. And so it's that sense, I'm so pleased that you felt there was a kind of vibrancy, a intellectual vibrancy, a kind of community, because we are a third international across the university, and we're building a global community as well as a kind of learning community simultaneously. And it's a community that's always changing constantly, because the students are only here for 1 year on a master's, or 3 or 4 years for the bachelor's. So it's part and parcel of our job at the university to create that and to sustain that. And that's why, really, when we got involved in going to Kenya more proactively, we talked to some of the schools, including Premier and others, and partners, valued partners of ours like Turi and Oshwal and Peponi and others. Really, we talked to them and said, what can we bring to the table for you? What is it that you want from us? We're here to learn from you. And they were like, Richard, academic engagement. If you can bring that, then that's what our students want. We don't want to hear another university tell them about their selection of courses. Any university can do that. But what we've been trying to do is bring a conversation into play. And that's central to why you're here.
And how was your lecture? You did something on Obama and the war to the students, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, we did, we talked, this was in 4 days in Kenya, about 2 weeks ago. We talked to over 400 students at 8 different schools. And Obama had just gone out of office, so Trump had just assumed the presidency 3 days after we landed in Nairobi. And so the talk was about how to assess the radical political changes of 2016. How do we assess Barack Obama and his presidency in light of of the political shifts with Donald Trump and all those things? It was fascinating. We talked about Obama's links, how he tried to position himself with reference to Abraham Lincoln and Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi, all civil rights leaders of different types over the 19th and 20th centuries. So it was really valuable, and because of it being Kenya and because of it being Obama, we were able to really bring into play what Kenya meant to Obama and how it became part of his own journey, and how that journey, as Obama refers to, of completeness that he found in Kenya, becomes part of his broader story of trying to make a complete society to greater or lesser extent. As the last 4 years
fascinating, wasn't it, to see the students engaging in critical analysis, or even disagreeing with some of the things he said.
Absolutely.
Young, 17, 18-year-olds, and facilitating and framing arguments in their own way. I think that was the idea behind it, is helping them to be able to see it as a forum for them to engage in a seminar, essentially.
Absolutely.
Wasn't it?
Absolutely, 100%. To get that kind of critical engagement with an outsider coming in, talking about things which are relevant to everybody. And that was part of the beauty of doing it about Obama and Trump, is that, if we'd done a talk on a particular area of engineering or of law or of this or that, it would have been a self-selecting group who would have been interested in it. But by doing it on something very contemporary, everybody's got a view on these things. So it was part and parcel about creating an inclusive environment, an engaging discussion. And also, in that sense, working with our partners, like Premier, to find ways in which we can build upon those academic engagement activities for the future, be it through other competitions, debates, conversations, different kinds of skills that we can help with your schools. And also, and I think this is the most important point of all, listening to what you have, what your desires are, and ways that we can meet those, be it through continuing professional development or other areas, so that it becomes a mutually reinforcing partnership.
I remember you had a meeting with our education